Well, we've just about reached the end of another trading day in the E-mini, and the other markets are effectively over. On the E-mini, we have ourselves an outside day. Forces tried to take it higher early in the session, then lower shortly thereafter in C, D, and E, and neither side was able to break the market out or break it down. And that usually implies a trading range day. Now we have lots of news tomorrow, and some of it can impact tomorrow's trading. Probably the biggest number we'll look at tomorrow will be industrial production, and if that number comes in worse than forecast, there'll be another piece of fundamental news added to the puzzle that says the Fed won't be able to cut their support for the markets quickly. That ironically could yield a buy stock call. So we got a trading range call from the F1 screen, the institutional long-term money screen. We're going to look at the 30-minute time frame, the market profile screen. And we're dealing with a B, so that suggests lower prices. But once again, we have a lot of news tomorrow that could impact the trading. And we start off with PPI. Both core PPI and PPI are both called at +0.2. Industrial production +0.4. Pretty healthy number. Capacity utilization 79.2. And if industrial production comes in lower than forecast, this market can sell, at least initially. Net long-term capital flow. I don't have an estimate. I will tomorrow. Last month it was -24. The thing usually sees a couple of negative months and a huge, like $90 billion inflow. Hard to read. Housing index at 50 where it has been. Neither growth nor contraction. Crude, I don't have an estimate for that, then beige book. And the beige book will probably get extra scrutiny, especially if industrial production is lower than forecast. So this will be the number one focus of tomorrow's market. Then the housing index. Then beige book, which comes after lunch. So right now, if we were to close the market right here, we would be selling pretty much what we did yesterday. The 75 area for sure. So for Globex and overnight, we want to sell failure to take out 70 to 72. We'll adjust this in the morning. And then sell 2 will be 75 plus or minus, like our sell 1 was this morning. On the buy side, we've got the low at 59, last rotate down stopped at 66, then at 64, so this 63, 65 area will be buy 1, and then 59.60 will be buy 2 for Globex, and we'll come in and we'll take another look at it. But I think a lot of tomorrow's activity is going to be determined by tomorrow's industrial production number. Okay, looking at the note this morning, we came in again tied to the news, but favoring the sell side. And we thought that we could at least get stops below the overnight session low. The F1 screen shows us a slightly lower high, definitely a lower low. So on this screen we are a seller, and today's open, today's price activity, today's close all suggest that we should retest support before we retest resistance come tomorrow. Obviously we've got news to get through in the morning. Yeah, Roger, if you can stand the hours. I mean, one of the jokes back in the old days was there are no day traders in Hawaii. They are far enough west that it really, they might as well not go to sleep. And they're far enough to the east that the trading in the Orient was problematic too. But I guess Hawaii would be the toughest place to. So here is the F2 screen, and again I think the focus is going to be industrial production, the housing index, and then the beige book. And if the industrial production number is lower than forecast, I think that's the one that will move the market. So we closed it at 29. Last rotate up stopped at 1.5. So it's aggressive, but for Globex, selling failure to get through basically 125.04 is the trade, leaning against 125, giving yourself a little room. Then 7 to 11 would be sell 2. On the buy side, let's shoot for 25 to 21. Let them retest the low. And again, for Globex, if it were the day session, we'd be trying to get 17s to 21s. Okay, the knob spread actually widened a couple of ticks today. So the long-term player still is comfortable being long the 30-year, short the 10-year, and that really does not bode well for economic recovery. The bond and currency traders' grasp of the fundamentals, and it may not be their grasp of it, it's just that their market trades fundamentals a lot closer than the stock market does. But they're saying that the economic recovery, if there ever has been one, is slowing. So right here we had a low of 17. We liked that area this morning. We had a 17 to 21 buy was our number 2 area, and the 21 to 25 was our number 2 area on the notes. So it kicked in. We're at 29 right now. So I'm going to leave it 17 to 21. Yeah, there is. If you can get on London time, I mean, the opportunities in foreign currencies and gold is fabulous. I wouldn't argue that with anybody. I just haven't figured out how to do it, other than resting limit buys and sells and going to sleep. And on the sell side, we stopped at 01, so selling failure to take out 37.04. Now, if you're up all night or a night owl, I could understand. Really, I think it's found money. work in Europe's opening myself. Okay, gold. Go to bed at 7. Boy, that's hard to do, Jeff. Have Henry and Helen on my case. Plus, give up my fun boxing, so probably won't happen. Okay, gold looks pretty weak on the close after we've had a crash like this. The tendency is for it to again kind of rotate back up and find out where resistance really is. Remember, we had been talking about 93 actually in the middle of last week, and we finally got down to it. And again, I just, when you take out these low volume numbers, you will get to this high volume number unless there's a new piece of news. You just don't know how long it's going to take. So you do know where the market's going before the fact, unless the news changes. It can't operate any other way. Low volume numbers are support and resistance, and when they fall out, they're going to go to where value was previously, and that's all you're trading, and you know where that is. So at 94, obviously 1300 plus or minus is sell 1. Got a low here, we've got a low there, we've got a low there. That low's at 6, this low's at 4, so 5 will be sell 2. On the buy side, letting them go get stops below this will make 90, 92 a buy. A little bit lower, but probably won't break it. And then we're back to our old 85, 87 that we worked previously. That it does, Roger, and go to bed at 6 would be one way to solve the problem. But it is great trading. There is just no way to get around it. And when you go back and you look at the charts, you know where those points are in the afternoon. Yeah, I could handle Italy myself too. The eating is good. I'd probably weigh a little more than I do now, though. Although, I really don't. There's very few Italian wines I like to sit around and drink, just for the sake of the wine itself. But with food, it's pretty darn good. That probably would be better for you than sitting around drinking it just for taste. Okay, crude, big picture stuff. We are headed lower. Pieces breaking out all over, and we've got this as probably pretty good support, 97.50 to 98.75. The attractor is all the way back up here at 102.5. We got low volume numbers basically at 101. So we had, my guess is we got really pretty good support in this 97.50 area. And we'll see if we get to it. Looking at the F2 screen, we crossed This is an amazing contract, the way it crosses the trading range, usually several times during the day. There's just fabulous opportunity in crude for a retail account. So we have a very, very clean break up here at 100, 100 and a quarter. So first sell will be 100, 125. The second sell will be our 50 to 75. On the buy side, we got a buyer at 25 to 50. Buy one. And then basically down at 99 for buy two. Oh, you mean you can drink white and red, Reg? Is that what you mean by going both ways? Or sometimes you can drink it, or sometimes you'll grab something else. Being from Canada, you'd have to grab a beer. Nothing better than in the middle of January drinking beer in Canada. Shows that you're a true beer lover. And finally, the euro. Excuse me. Okay, ultimately I think we're going to 135 on the euro. I have no idea how long it's going to take to get there. I'm surprised that the damn thing rallies, but rally it does. So we're going to be playing the half buck, the quarter, and 135 even, but I think our trading target is 135. And why 135? It's a very, very round number. So looking at this screen, we've got, I believe this low is in the 70 area. Then we had the low at 81. So we got 70 to 90, and we're at 69. Last rotate up was 79.80. So we'll let them go get stops above this. We'll make 80 to 90. Sell one, and then sell two will be 136, 136.10. I think we are pointed lower, so don't know what kind of action we'll get overnight. So we'll make buy one 13.50, and then buy two we'll make 25. More profitable than gold, huh, Roger? Interesting. I would have guessed gold would have been more profitable because of the swings. That's all I have for July the 15th. I have several recordings and stuff to get done this afternoon. I'll be around until probably 3:30, quarter of 4.